Joining us now on MSUEagles.com is Dontae Wright. Dontae is the new recruiting coordinator and defensive line coach here for the Morehead State football program. Dontae, first and foremost, congratulations on the new position. We're excited about you joining the Eagle football family. Let's start off kind of talking about your childhood. You're originally from Eastern Kentucky, went to high school in the state. Let's kind of get the background on your upbringing, and then you ended up at Miami of Ohio and accomplished quite a bit in the Mid-American Conference as a player.
Yeah, I moved over to Kentucky actually when I was about 6 in Louisa, Kentucky, Lawrence County, played there, lived there, and that is home to me. Eastern Kentucky is home, and it's really great to be back closer to home, closer to family. Played at Lawrence County, played quarterback, receiver, things like a little bit of everything. Moved on, luckily was able to get a scholarship, moved up to Miami of Ohio in Oxford there, and with the late Terry Hepner, who's a great man, the reason I went to Miami. Was very blessed while I was at Miami, while I switched from safety and moved and played linebacker. Was very blessed to be a part of some very good teams in 03, winning a MAC championship, finishing 10th in the country. Then in 04, going back and winning the MAC East, but losing to Toledo in the MAC championship game. Time at Miami was just unbelievable. I started as a senior. Started all special teams all 4 years, so have very wide knowledge of special teams, things like that. That's where I kind of made my niche originally. It was just a great time. Moved on after that and went as GA at Kentucky, which was once again, very blessed. Good man upstairs took care of me and got me a wonderful opportunity down there to work with Coach Brooks and Coach Brown, and then a bunch of great assistant coaches like Coach Rick Petrie and Chris Thurman and David Lockwood, guys like that I've been able to just latch onto and learn a ton of football from, and be a part of the great state of Kentucky again, which was really nice to come back home and after being out of home for a little while.
Let's talk a little bit about rewinding to your playing days. What are some of the lessons and characteristics and things that you learned that you've been able to take to your coaching career?
Battling adversity. That is the game of football is a great life lesson. You can translate football to life so many different ways because there's so many ups and downs in the game of football, which obviously that's the same exact thing in life, and you have to learn how to attack those things because everything's not always going to go your way, whether it be out on the field and you not making a play you're supposed to make or messing up on a blitz or whatever it may be, or in life where something goes wrong, you mess up in school or you have some family problems, things happen like that, and you have to be able to keep a steady ground and always be ready for anything that comes your way. And that was the biggest thing that I've gotten out of my playing days was, hey, everything ain't always going to go your way. You got to be able to be where you're supposed to be, doing the right things all the time, and be ready for anything that comes, and just truly be ready to attack adversity.
Let's talk a little bit about kind of the championship mentality, as Coach Rob Tenyer calls it. You were involved with some highly successful teams as a player. You've done well as a coach. Some of the other assistant coaches on this staff, like Craig Mullins and Phil Burnett, who we've already announced on MSUEagles.com, have been in that winning atmosphere, that winning environment. I don't think it's a secret to people who have followed Morehead State football that, at least from a wins and losses standpoint in recent years, things haven't necessarily gone how the players and coaches and fans have wanted. But just talk about maybe changing that culture with this group moving forward and what you guys can do to be successful and move the win-loss record more in your favor.
Yeah, well, I mean, winning is a mentality. It truly is. You can't go out and hope to win or whatever it may be. You have to expect to win. And I think personally, my opinion, it starts with hiring guys that have been to places that have been, like myself and Phil and Rob and all these guys, Craig, who's won multiple national titles at Georgetown. You have to know how to win, and there's something to be said with that. And then once you get guys that know how to win as coaches, now you have to go out and recruit players that know how to win because there's a lot to be said for that. And that's what we're going to do. You can't always find that. There's players that come from bad programs, things like that, but you want to go out and recruit guys that know how to win and are part of winning programs because there truly is a ton to be said for that. because once you know how to win, it's kind of like second nature now. It is just, okay, I'm not out here just hoping that this is going to happen. I expect every time I take the field that, first and foremost, I'm going to be the best player on the field. Now I'm going to have the best group on the field as in terms of offense, defense. Then it's going to come together and we're going to have the best team, and we expect to win every single time we touch the field. And that's, like I said, it comes from having coaches that know how to win and then finding players that know how to win and having that mentality all the time.
Dontae Wright is our guest today on MSUEagles.com, the new defensive line coach and recruiting coordinator for the MSU football program. Dontae, I think that recruiting coordinator title gets thrown around a lot, but the common fans probably don't have the first clue what all you have to do. It's an enormous responsibility. You're going to have a roster of 100-plus guys when you guys open fall camp, this upcoming season. But just if you had to hit a couple highlights of the recruiting coordinator position and things that you're going to be doing here in the future, what would those be?
Well, first and foremost, my responsibility is, along with Coach Tenure, is to divvy up our staff in terms of where we want to recruit. Okay, well, we've designated that we want to get back Morehead State to recruiting the state of Kentucky first and foremost, because we've lost a lot of relationships over the years for whatever reasons. I don't know, that's in the past. From here forward, we want to our thing is we want to build the state of Kentucky back into Morehead State, because we've gotten away from that. So we are going to recruit the state of Kentucky first and foremost. Then we're blessed with a situation where we're able to recruit Ohio with that in a different way than most people, and not have to do out-of-state things and stuff if their grades are correct and stuff like that. So we're going to go to the state of Ohio, and we're going to stay here close and build our program around this so that fans can come and be able to watch people that they can relate with, or that they've watched in high school and things like that. So first and foremost, we had to divvy up the where we're going, okay? And then after that, now my responsibility is to, when everybody finds their recruits, I have to get them sorted, things like that, make sure it goes through compliance, that everything is there. And not only just recruit good football players and academic guys, but you have to recruit guys that you know are going to stay here with APR things and stuff like that. We can't have guys coming and not being happy and leaving, or whatever the case may be. You have to find that whole thing, and that's my kind of responsibility, is just kind of mesh it all together and make sure that we're getting the right guys that fit us and people are in the right areas that they need to be, not just out, scanning from Florida to California, wherever it may be. Okay, we got to be in the right areas to where we're getting kids that fit our program.
You're in your first week on the job as we record this interview. You mentioned that you moved to Louisa at age 6. What are some of the things that you knew coming into this job about Morehead State, about this part of Kentucky, maybe the Pioneer Football League as well?
What I knew about Morehead State is, well, first, Morehead State is where everyone from, the majority of kids from Louisa, from Lawrence County, go to when they go to further education, when they go to higher education. So I've always known about Morehead State. In terms of athletics, I can remember when I was coming out of school, that was when they were good in the, winning the multiple championships in a row. So that was what I knew, is that there has been success here, so there's no reason that it can't be success again. And then just, the coaching tree and people that I know in this conference, in the PFL, that are at Butler, Dayton, places like that. Everyone I've talked to when I researched this job, and after Coach Tenure called me and asked me if I'd be interested, everyone I've talked to said that Morehead has the best athletes in the conference, that there's no reason that they should not win this conference every year. And to hear something like that, that's very, very exciting, because, if you have those people there, now all you have to do is mold them into what you want. And get them in the winning mentality, as we talked about earlier. You have to mold them. All you got to do is mold them into that, because if you got the athletes there, now you just got to refine them a little bit and get them played the way you want to, and the sky's the limit.
Well, Dontae, thanks again for your time today. We appreciate it. Congratulations once again on the new position.
Well, I'm very excited to be here. Thank you.
Dontae Wright, the new defensive line coach and recruiting coordinator for Morehead State football. We'll have more coaching announcements, so stay tuned to MSUEagles.com.